your dose of positivity. I am Marlene Motivates, and as I always say, just know it, just breathe it, and be it, and live your best life.
Be encouraged, be inspired, be yourself, you will survive. Just know it, just breathe it, and be it, and live your best life.
And to gain further support, join my channel membership. Hey everybody, it's Marlene of Marlene Motivates, your channel for all things positive, motivational, encouraging, mindset shifting, and support. So, welcome. If you're new here, subscribe to this channel, share this out. And if you're watching on the replay, leave me a comment in the comment section below. So, happy hump day to everybody. Welcome in. I hope everybody is doing awesome. Yes, everybody, welcome to the stream. Puzzle pieces. And everybody hit the like. I'd really appreciate it. Hey, James, how are you doing? Welcome. Hey, realist one, how are you doing? Welcome. Appreciate you being here. Hey, Juba. Welcome in. Hey, Lynn. How are you doing? I really do appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Yes. Happy Wednesday to everybody. Yes. Thank you so much, Juba, and you as well. I'm great. I'm great, James. Thank you. Okay, everybody. So today we're going to be talking about controlling people. Who's ready for that? Okay. So let's start off by first, talking about this a little bit. They want to control everything. And at first, I was going to make this to be completely about. I was going to make this to be about dating. But then I also thought about that there's controlling people in so many relationships. People are controlling, yes, of course, in dating, in marriages, but also siblings can be controlling. Other relatives can be controlling. In friendships, they can be controlling. In the workplace, people can be controlling. And I want to first start off by talking about social media. Because this is a platform. I am a social media influencer, and I have found since I have been on this specific app that there are a lot of people who want to control everything that you do on your platform. I find that to be very interesting. How people want to control everything about you. They want to control the way how you look, the way you talk, um, who you surround yourself by, all of those things. And we're going to get into that a little bit more. But yeah, there are some, especially on social media, and they want to control everything that they do. And sometimes I believe, my personal opinion, some people want to control you because they want you to follow along with what they want you to do. And other times people want to control you because they like you. Okay. Like, quote unquote. So, let's go to the chat one more time and then we're going to get into today's topic. Okay. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, first way that people may want to control you is they may want to start by controlling your thoughts. Once somebody has the control over your mind, you can have control over so much because we know that the mind is the seat of motivation. So if they can get you to have control over your mind and what you think about yourself, if somebody can get you either down or discouraged or control what you think about yourself as a projection of their own fears and doubts and worries, they really would have won. Now, I say all this to you, motivators, all the time. Know your worth, know what you deserve, know what you're about. And we have to learn to ask ourselves, why is this affecting me? Why do I let other people affect me? I had to pause and speak about this for a little bit because it happened to me just a little while ago. Somebody did something to me that I didn't like, and I was letting that person have so much power over me. And that's what happens. This is how it starts. People will control you if they can control your thoughts, if they can control what you think about yourself. See, and when your self esteem is not high enough, when your energy is not high enough, when your financial situation is in a low place, they can have that control over you, or they have the control because you allow them to have it. See, that's the whole thing about control. People cannot control you if you don't allow it to happen. And it means that you have to be strong in how you feel about yourself. You have to know your own worth. You have to know what you deserve. You also have to know who you are and what you're about. You have to know your own values, and don't try to do things. First of all, I have to say, don't do things just for clicks and views. I'm talking about, namely, social media. And there are people who will sell their soul just for a click and a view. And I find it sad. Or they'll throw their relatives under the bus for a click or a view. So don't let people, especially on this social media, to control you, because people will get on this social media app and they will talk about your character. They will try to get something to have you going back and forth with them because that's a control thing. Okay, I'm going to throw this out here and let's see what they do. Will they take the bait? Will they fall into my trap? See, if you have control over your thoughts, if you know who you are, we will not allow other people to control what we actually do. Okay. So it means that we have to really be working on ourselves. And I know that a lot of times that our mental health may not be in a good space. I've talked about it on several occasions, especially when you're going through something in your life, sadness, it could be depression, it could be grieving, it could be your financial situation, it could be a health problem. People know when to attack. When you are at your lowest times, this is when the way you feel about yourself can be very down and very diminished. So we definitely have to keep on working on encouraging ourselves and learning to control our own thoughts instead of letting other people control us. Because that's what other people want. They want for you to, walk around and be sad or go back and forth with them. If they do something, then you go ahead. Don't stoop yourself down. Don't dummy yourself down. Don't diminish your character based on what they think, based on other people's assumptions. You have to know your own worth. Know your own worth, everybody. So I wanted to start this discussion by saying that. Okay, what did I miss? What did I miss? Thank you, Juba. Hey, Wellness, how are you doing? Welcome in. Got my mods on deck. I really do appreciate you guys being here. How are you doing? Happy Wednesday. So, that's the first part of wanting to control everything about you. First, it starts with your mind. And if you have a strong mindset, you're at mental peace, okay? Then other people can't get into you. But you have to know yourself. You have to value your own self and don't let other people make that decision for you. Okay. So let's go into our second point. What people want, they want to control everything about you. And another thing is that people want to control your finances. Especially, let's talk about the relatives, right? We all have relatives that they want to know everything that you're doing. They want to tell you what you can afford and not afford, vacations you should do, the place where you live, the things that you buy, the home, the car, the everything. People want to control your finances. And relatives can be a real trip when it comes to this. They want to actually tell you how to spend your money that you have earned. I mean, your money that's in your pocketbook or your wallet. And I'm like, how does that go? And that's what they want. They want to control everything about you. And also, we can't forget about in the dating and in marriage. Sometimes it's really important to, not sometimes, we always should talk about having, what you call it, what we actually want out of financial situation from each other so that it doesn't get sticky because monetary problems can be a big reason why people divorce and break up because of the financial situation. So set some boundaries what you want, so that you don't get into these heated discussions and problems about how they spend their money and how you spend your money. Have certain things that we'll do together and certain things that you won't. But also, let's get back into those who try to control what you do with your money. That's not healthy. It's not a healthy thing. And also, it's not something that anybody has a right to do. Nobody has the right to tell you how to spend your money, whether it be your relative, whether it be in a romantic relationship. They can make some suggestions, okay? But it doesn't mean you have to listen to them. And that's a really a big major red flag, when you have your relative or somebody that you're dating try to control your money. It's a big red flag. So be careful with that. With somebody that you're just dating and they want to know how much you have in the bank, how much you make, all of these things. Be careful with that. And on social media, be careful about the catfishing thing. Don't be so excited to be in a relationship that you will go and you will send money and do things for others for money just to say that you have somebody, that you're in a relationship, when all it is that they're just doing that, saying they love you. They're just love bombing you just so that they can get some of your money. So be careful with that. Now let's go over to talking about controlling your finances. Your children, okay? For those of you who have children, you want the best for your children. You really do. But you have to Allow your children to respect your money, and not think like you're made of gold, that everything that comes out you have to buy for them, all of those things. So set some boundaries, set some standards. um, I know that a lot of times, that I know I've done it, being 100% honest, I have enabled to disable people in my life, buying them things. Actually, if I'm 100% honest, I have tried to buy friendships. I've tried to buy people, and that's not good. It never really works out in a good way, because the moment you can't buy them or get them something, they're done with you. And we deserve more than how much we spend on somebody. It's about your character, it's about your personality, it's how you treat the person, all of those things that should be the basis of a healthy relationship. I know that some people are toxic, some people are users and manipulators, and that's what they want. They want to control you. They want to control your money. They want to control what you do with your money and what you buy, just because then you won't be able to give it to them. And that's a aha moment. Um, don't be so quick and easy to separate yourself from your money. It's your money. You work hard for it. Don't let other people control that about you. And you don't have to explain what you do with your money. And it happens a lot in romantic relationships. It happens a lot with relatives. They want to know what you do with your money, or they make assumptions. You can afford that, like they pay your bills in your household. Don't let other people control you when it comes to that. We're not doing that. Hey, puzzle pieces, how are you doing? Welcome in. Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Hey, Sirius, how are you doing? Welcome in. Got my mods on deck. I really do appreciate you all. Yeah, that's what people want. People want to control your finances, namely dating, your spouse, your relative, other family members, and yeah, and even in friends. They want to tell you how to spend your money, what to spend it on, who to spend it on, all of those things. But you have to have your own goals. And they want to control everything about you. They want to control what you do, what you say. And it's a power thing, it's a power trip. Be careful of that, because um, without divulging too much of my personal life, but um, I got into that. I got into that. And it's not a good thing to start off a relationship that way. Once you start and you start giving, then it's like you have to continue it until you put a stop to it. So don't start off any relationship feeling like you have to do things for people that you know. It's a control factor, it's a control mechanism, and don't let other people control you. Now, let's also talk about control with friendships. Now, we know about the ones that are not, they're not okay up here. There are some people who are like on the episode of Snapped or one of those crime shows, because they just, yeah, very controlling about who you're friends with. They want to know who you're with all the time, what you talk about, what you do, the decisions that you make. And we definitely have to be careful about the people that we choose to be friends with, because our friends can either encourage us or what? Discourage us. So we have to look at that, who we associate with, who we tell our hopes and our dreams to. All of that is very important. And if you're not careful, they're going to allow you to do things that you normally wouldn't do, because you want to please them. You want to make them happy. But in the meantime, you're not happy. Your money is dwindling, or you don't get to do the things that you want to do because they don't want to do it. So it gets very confusing. It gets very weird and suffocating. Don't let people who claim to be your friend suffocate you. Don't want you to have friends with certain people. Be careful of the people who only want you to be with them all the time. And that covers all relationships, relatives, romantic relationship, friends, workplace. Yeah, all of those things. It should not be a control thing where you're being controlled and you can't have other friends. You can't be around other people. That's a very big warning. The flashing light should be going off. Anybody who wants to control you and what you do, that's not a good thing. Please get away from those type of people as quickly as you can. Hey, Geeky Girls Journal, how are you doing? Thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. Hey, Tamika, how are you doing? Happy Wednesday. Appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much for your support. So, we definitely must be careful of who we're friends with because I will tell you from personal experience the people that we hold to be our friend, they can encourage us, they can discourage us, they can get us off track, they can have us wasting our time, they can start controlling our money, they can control your mindset. So be careful of who you are friends with. And I know that a lot of times you can be friends with somebody for a long time and you feel like you have to hold on to them, but you don't. Anytime somebody starts being very controlling, manipulative, um, doing some evil and dark things to you, um, being entitled, they want all of your time, they only want you to talk to them, that's very possessive. It's very weird and strange. Everything has to be in balance. And if you have any relationships where you feel uncomfortable, and especially I have to say, if somebody is putting their hands on you, like in romantic relationship, because it happens every day. I know I used to be the person to say, "Oh, that would never happen to me," but you never know what um, what can happen. It's just one day you don't even know, and someone just slaps you, someone hits you, punches you, or it could also be a controlling thing where they're very they put you down all the time. Like it starts to be like verbal abuse, telling you you're stupid, you can't do anything, you don't do anything right. And that can go across all relationships, for a friend, a relative, romantic relationship, in the workplace, where they actually don't appreciate you for who you are. They don't, there's some people who come into our life and they don't deserve us. They don't deserve you because they haven't worked on themselves. They're just in an angry stage. They hate themselves. So of course they're going to be displaying that hateful behavior to you. Be careful of those people. You don't? Yes, I understand that, Geeky Girls Journal. Hey, Uncle L, how are you doing? Welcome. Happy Wednesday. Yes, absolutely. Serious. Absolutely. Okay. Marlene, I feel weird when a friend or family member close to me wants to talk about their super intimate bedroom type of talks. Yeah. One of the things that, I think this one of the things that's one of the things that when we talk about boundaries, there's certain things that you can say, like, I would prefer that you keep your bedroom chronicles private. That would make me feel better. You do have to establish some boundaries that even if they may want to talk about certain things, yeah, you have to know what you like and what you don't like, and you have to establish those boundaries with people. Now, let me also talk about the controlling. I didn't write one for relatives, but this applies. Controlling relatives, controlling who you talk to. So it could be your siblings, it could be an aunt, an uncle, a mother, a father, a cousin, whoever it is, the relative. It could be your children. They want to control who you're talking to, who knows certain information. It's a lot of controlling mechanisms that we really have to be careful. And sometimes our relative can be very toxic, very hazardous, very poisonous to us, to where we don't even want to, get out of bed. They just so controlling, they're so draining. They drain everything out of us. So don't let your relatives control who you talk to, where you go, what you do with your money, who you're dating. It can get out of bounds, completely out of control. And I have to say, also in the workplace, that can be a thing that I personally have established that in the past 1 to 2 years, that my private and personal business, I don't bring it to the job. So when they ask, do you have children? I just start from the beginning. I rather not talk about my personal business. And, sometimes people will get upset about it and angry. But once you start to let people you work with know your personal and private business, it gets weird and uncomfortable. It gets weird when they know theirs and you know theirs. The best thing when it comes to workplace relationships is keep it about work. We'll talk about what's best for whatever it is, the job that you do, and then keep it there. But having the friendships within the job, it brings drama, and you feel like you have to cover up for them and do all kinds of things, and they want to know what you did on your day off, and how's your romantic relationship, are you still together, did you break up, what are your kids, how is the dog. It just becomes too much. So I established that when I got a new job. I said, from now on, I'm not going to bring my uh, all my personal and everything that's going on in my life. I refuse to bring it into the workplace. It's better for your mental health, it's better for the environment in the workplace for you not to go into your private and personal stuff. It's just what works for me. I'm not telling you what to do. If you want to do that, motivators family, then by all means, I just give some advice that I think is best, something that I've learned, because I found that when I bring my personal business, this is going on in my romantic relationship, this is how my kids are acting, this is what's going on with my pet. It's just too much. It's just too much. So, and then it starts to become so controlling when they find out that you went somewhere. Oh, then they want to be your actual friend outside of the workplace, and they want to go out to eat with you and come to your house. It gets too sticky. It's just, you got to draw some lines in the sand when it comes to in the workplace, and establish that and say, I'm not trying to be mean or nasty, but I rather keep my personal business to myself. And we'll just focus on work. For me, that has been working better for me. Okay, let's see what we have here in the chat. Sarah says absolutely. Uh, And what else did I miss? Lynn says, yes, set boundaries. Welcome in, new mod on deck, Lynn's life lessons. Yes, it's about boundaries. And if we don't establish boundaries, other people will make them for you in all relationships. If you don't set a boundary, if you don't tell people what you like and be like, nope, you're not going to talk to me, you're not going to treat me that way, or whatever, they will establish it. Thank you so much for that comment, Lynn. Yes, serious. Yes, yes, yes. Puzzle Pieces says, I just walk away, but I know I need to say something because, like you said, we need to control over our friendships so that they don't control our time. Yeah. I find that that was a big deal on the job. It's like it becomes where it's like a therapy session, like you're at work talking about your personal business, that you're not even getting your work done. You start goofing off, you're not getting the things you need to get done. It's just too much. So I find that it's just, for me personally, it's better if I just stick to what's going on the job. And let's talk about this. If it relates to the job, cool. Let's talk about that. But if it's about me and my personal business, yeah, we're not doing that. Yeah, and that's the thing. And then they will use it against you. Like when I had on the job, they found out that my dad had, was at the end stage of his cancer, and then they started to use that against me, and talking about it in the job, and it made me feel really weird and uncomfortable, and stressed out, and I really didn't want to talk about it, because I personally think when you get to your workplace, you need to have an escape from your from your real life. You're just there to work, and that's it, and cut it off. So that's my personal view. I'm not telling you, motivators, what to think. And this is my last point that I have. Um, Puzzle pieces. This is the time where you're free to hit that link. I pinned it to the top. So this is the point. People want to control everything that you do. They want to control you. They want to control what you think about. They could want to control what you actually do in your life. They want to control your finances. They want to control who you're friends with. They want to control who you're dating or married to. It's just a mess. And also, I have to add, here on social media, they want to control the content you put on your channel, who your content friends with. It is just too much. So you have to establish those boundaries, and don't let other people control you. You have to first know yourself. You have to know your worth. You have to know what you can do. And here on social media, you have to know what you want, what you're willing to do and what you won't do. You have to know who you can get along with and who you don't. And like I've said many a times, that I think people get it twisted sometimes. I'm not here on social media for friendships. My social media, this is business. And I take my business serious, because it's anything when it comes to my money, my paper, I don't play about those things. So I think people come on social media for different reasons. And if your reason is for friendships, then you do that. But I come on social media for to teach, to support, to share how my personal growth, but not to be controlled, not to be manipulated. And a lot of people, they want to manipulate you. They want to get control over your mind and what you do and all of those things. So don't let other people get that kind of control over your mind. And I will say that, your words have power, your mind has power. It's your seat of motivation. If people get control over your mind, then they can slow you down. They can get in there and deposit all kinds of evil things. People can deposit all of their drama. People will give you all their problems and then walk away. And then you're left way down with all of their issues, and you feel like you have to help them. See, that's not good. That's very toxic. So be careful, especially on social media, who you listen to, who you believe, because being 100% honest and transparent, there are some people and they're not mentally stable. Mm-mm. They're not mentally stable, everybody. I'm trying to tell y'all, they are not mentally stable. They don't have it all together. Okay? They don't got it all together. Mm-mm. But what they want to do is they want to control you. And the whole thing about this social media is people will make assumptions about you and make you feel like you're less than, or they try to knock your grind or your intellectual ability or whatever it is, or the things that they're going through. Some people just may just not like you, and it has nothing to do with you. People just don't like you because they don't like themselves. I just got finished talking about that on my other channel. They don't like you because they hate themselves. Period. And I mean that on everything. Yeah, if you guys want to hear more about that, go over to my Marlene Saunders show and podcast and listen to that podcast I just did. But I see my wonderful co-host here in the background, Miss Nexie. Let's welcome her to the show.
Hello, Marlene. Hi,
Hi.
chat. Thank you all for coming. So, what are we talking about? Like,
Today
really,
we're
really talking about? Because
today we're
everybody's crazy.
yeah, today we're talking about I put you want to control everything, but I should have put they want to control everything.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about you. And it's those people who are manipulators, narcissists, weirdos, crazy people, evil, all of that. Yeah, we're talking about that.
Exactly. That's what I say. What is it that we're talking about? Because it's so weird. I have that rule, Marlene. I think I've said it before. I think in one of our conversations, I think it was in one of our podcasts together, that at work, I have coworkers, really good coworkers, but I don't have friends in there. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
We're coworkers, we're gonna work together, but it's not a friendship. It's just us working together as a team and getting the job done, and that's pretty much it. I don't go there and start talking to everybody. They don't know my personal life. I don't know their personal life. Actually, I do know more because they like to talk a lot, in their little groups. But I don't divulge my personal life. It has nothing to do with them. And outside of work, if I see them, hi, bye, and that's pretty much it. Because
Mhm.
I have been burned before.
Yep.
I have another rule too, Marlene, is I don't recommend anyone to a job. I've been burned one too many times
Mhm.
by so-called friends and or family members. So those are rules that that I had to put in place. That means didn't know how to say no, had to put in
Yep.
place because people were controlling my everything too much. And I was enabling them. That I was allowing it. I'm not blaming anybody. That was my fault. That was my mistake. Because
Mhm.
I couldn't say no. I couldn't
Yeah.
say stop doing that.
Yeah, and also Nexi, you can only give where you are in the present moment. So sometimes we're not in a space to where we've grown and we've matured to know we shouldn't do certain things or that's dangerous or toxic. We haven't identified that. And also maybe you're suffering from some low self-esteem. Maybe you have had toxic people around you. So it's dependent on where you are in your life. And sometimes there are people out there that they're looking for people exactly like that who don't know their worth, who don't know what they're about, and they'll be very gullible and allow people to do things to them. And those are the people that they choose.
Exactly, exactly. They look for those type of people, and like I said, for me, once I started working on myself and I started learning to place those boundaries around me, and I said this to you before, my life is so much better, so much more drama free, much more happy, and my purse, my little wallet is full of money I didn't know I had or I was supposed to have. I think that's the best way to say it. Money that I didn't know I was supposed to have
Yeah.
because I was always, saying yes to everything. Can you lend me so much? Can you do this for me? Can you buy me that? Sure, 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 no problem. So, and the same happens in the workplaces that I had to put those boundaries. I come here to work. I don't come here to socialize. I don't come here for my health. I come here because, I need to make money the same way you all do. But there's a difference is that, we're not going to discuss our personal life,
Mhm.
with each other. I don't like that. We just come here to work. We don't have to be mean or disrespectful or anything. We just have to be co-workers. That's all.
Yep. And I want to read this comment from Sirius. Eventually, if things don't go their way, they will start lying on you. starting rumors because you're upfront with them about not having that type of conversation.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I've been burned there too, a
Yeah.
couple of times, by people I consider and thought were my friends. Because you put a stop to their behavior, Marlene, because it's not even your behavior, it's their behavior, their bad behavior. And they start, lying on you, and you start seeing people, you know, like, um, like running away from you. You don't even know why
Yeah.
until you find out eventually that they've been telling lies about you. So, yeah, people are, they're too much, but as long as you keep your inner space with the people that you know encourage you to shine, encourage that light on you to come out even more. As long as you have those people around you, then whatever else is out on the outside is not going to affect you.
Exactly. I agree with that 100%, Nexie. And I have to also say that, going back to talking about controlling, for me, the hardest ones to deal with, for me personally, was my relatives that felt that they deserved to know everything that was going on in my life, my how I was spending my money, who I was in a romantic relationship, and it's just become so draining. Their entitlement, like stifling. It's stifling.
Hmm. They, oh, and the ones that, oh wow, those are nice shoes. Did you just get that dress? I never seen that dress on you before. Wow, it's so cute. Where did you get it at? And you're like, what do you mean? Like, why do you care? Are you gonna give me, the money I spent for it, or are you gonna buy me another one, or why do you need to know everything I'm doing? I'm gonna go back to the workplace really quick, Marlene, because
Okay.
I wanted to get this out earlier, and I completely forgot. But talking about people that have no boundaries, and this is why I said it on the chat earlier. When it comes to intimacy or partnership, whatever it is. I had a colleague of mine. It's not a in the hospital like a nurse or anything like that. It's the opposite. This person is supposed to be a therapist, right? This person is supposed to be, a psychologist, a therapist that is supposed to be in control of their, everything. And every time I will pass by the office, and he liked to have the door open when he was in session with his patients. And every time, like, not every day, but if I had happened to go by his office from time to time, every time he had a patient, I will hear him talk about his personal life. And I would it puzzled me because when you have a patient in your office, you're supposed to be concentrating on that person. You know what I mean? You're not supposed to be. I'm not a psychologist or anything like that. I will never call myself a coach or a psychologist or a therapist. No, never, because I'm not that. But it's common sense, right? So this person will always be discussing, oh yeah, me and my partner did this, or yeah, you know what? I went through that too with my partner, and I stood behind a couple of times, like for 5 minutes, to listen to the conversation, and he wasn't even paying attention to the patient. It was more like comparing contrast, like trying to give examples of, yeah, you go through this, but you're gonna be okay. And I thought it was so impersonal. I don't know if I'm wrong about this, but I thought it was so, that's so wrong. You're comparing your life to this other patient. Like, I don't know. You tell me, Marlene. You think I overreacted or I'm wrong?
No, no, I don't think that you're overreacting. I think that sometimes the the things that people do on the job is wrong. And I don't know what is the right word to say, but some people, they bring too much, they bring their personal into a private, like especially, when you're working with things that, that is like a HIPAA violation. For those who don't know, that's, sharing other people's personal information is against the law. And the same thing for you to stay professional, there's certain things that you just should not share.
Exactly. That's, I thought, because I brought it up, I talked about it with somebody else, and we were like, I was like, you know what? I understand that you're there to listen to your patient, and I don't know what the session was about, but that comparison, oh yeah, I went through like something like that with my partner, but don't worry, if you like, right now we're gonna work on you guys can come to sessions together, we can work on it together, whatever. But I went through the same thing, and it's just sometimes it happens in couples, and I was like, are you literally, did you just tell this person your life story? Like, you're comparing your patient's problems with your own personal problems. I thought that was so unethical. I think
Yeah.
that's what I thought. It was so unethical, and I don't believe that that's the way, a therapist or whatever it is that they are should behave. I mean, that's how I feel, but I may be wrong, and I don't want to step on anybody's toes. And it's my opinion, not Marlene's. It was just something that I figured, this person has no boundaries. That's what I thought at that moment, and which is why I wanted to bring it on this conversation.
Yeah, yeah, it can get very uncomfortable, very weird, that people have to learn that there's certain things like, I share some things on here, that I go through, but I don't keep it, I don't go to the level where I will embarrass my relative or divulge something that would minimize my character of what I do over here for motivation. So I always try my best to keep things as professional as I can, because that goes to, how other people will look at me, and
Hmm.
how would somebody trust me if I don't even have control of my own self. So yeah. Hi,
No, and that's
hi
the point.
Drea. Hi Angela. Sorry,
Oh, I'm so
Nexie.
sorry. I'm so sorry, Marlene. Go ahead. Go
It's
ahead.
okay. No, I just was greeting. Hi, Drea. Hi, Angela. Welcome.
No, and that's the thing. It's, we when we're talking about subjects like we're doing right now, right? This is a talk between, us and the chat, between you and the chat. That's different than if you had a one-on-one session. You're not going to be
Mhm.
bringing your personal information there. You're not going to be comparing your thing, your problems, or you're not going to be comparing the person you have in front of you, or you're doing therapy on, with your personal life or with your person. You can't do that. That's unprofessional. And it's true, this is somewhere, even though we are talking to others, we have to maintain a certain um, amount of decorum, because people have to, you have to sometimes show them that you're someone serious, that you're someone that it believes in what you do, you're someone that is here to help. And when, because if you don't, and if you are one way today and then one way tomorrow, or you're joking around, then people they will start to disrespect and not trust and not believe on what you do. They will think you're a
Mhm.
joke. So there is a certain amount of decorum and of um professionalism that you have to keep, you have to maintain.
Right. And I'm glad you said that. I'm not telling every anybody what to do on their social media, but
No.
in my personal experience from the mentor that I've had, they said if you're going to do certain social media, you have to separate it. You have to have a private account and you have to have a business account. If this is something you're trying to make money for, you can't go on there and showing where you're twerking, and that's that's not a business, okay? And I learned the hard way by, posting things that I shouldn't. And then they were like, remove that immediately. So live and learn, You live and learn.
No, yeah, but again, when you're true to yourself, and that comes out through what you do, the way you handle everything around you, it's based on who you truly are. And like you said, if you had started, a twerking channel. I'm sorry, I wanted to say it seriously. I would have
Can you
subscribed and joined the
imagine, Nexie?
membership.
Can you imagine me
I would
over
have
here?
subscribed and joined the membership.
You'd be
I'm
like,
sorry.
Marlene has lost her mind.
I'm flying over. That's it. I'll drop the phone and just be at the doorstep. Open up, woman. But see, that's the thing, though. A lot of people, I feel that a lot of us in my workplace, a lot of us don't know who we are, and we don't take the time to work on ourselves. And I feel that, like you said, bad friends, sometimes bad family members can influence you negatively, and you will behave like you have no sense sometimes. But we have to work on ourselves to be a better version of who we actually are right at this moment. You got to work on yourself today so that if you get it tomorrow, right, you can be a better version of you tomorrow.
Right.
So a lot of people don't have, I'm not saying everybody's like that, that's not what I'm saying, but a lot of people, I guess they're not defined.
Hmm.
That's the best word I can think of right now. They're not defined or on
Yeah.
who they are or what they want.
Yeah. But see, I think what it is too, Nexie, is they have not stepped into knowing that they're worthy enough. See, when you know your worth, when you know your strengths, your talents, what you're good at, you can't let other people come and in a moment diminish your character. And it can happen just like that on social media, being a part of a group of somebody doing something and then you're involved in a mess. So you really do have to be careful of what you do, who you're a part of, because that's important for your business and your brand. But
Mm-hmm.
as well, when it comes to your relative, who you're dating or who you're married to, be very careful about letting people control every single thing. That I must say that sometimes the people that we love, it's not a healthy relationship. It's
Mm-hmm.
one that if you don't do this for me, then they're going to be upset with you. They're going to be angry. There is going to be some drama involved. That's not good. That's not a healthy relationship.
No,
Somebody is supposed to love you just because of who you are, not for what you do for them.
exactly. And like you said just a few seconds ago, who you associate with, who you're in a relationship with, who your family is a reflection of who you truly are. So if you're
Mhm.
someone that doesn't like drama, you're someone that, likes to inspire, you're someone that is well spoken and likes to learn and teach, being with people that have a twerking channel,
Mhm.
it's
Yeah,
not beneficial to you, because then you're showing people that you say one thing, but then you are another.
doing another.
And
Hmm.
same goes in real life. If you're talking to the youth about drinking, about smoking, or about whatever it is that you're doing, right? Or your coworkers, and then they see you on pictures doing the things that you're asking them not to, then they stop believing or trusting you. And that's when you know that you don't even know who you are or what you want.
Yeah,
I
but they're
am defined. I am who I am here in social media and outside of it.
right. Yeah, everybody has a time where they let their hair down, they're
Mm-hmm.
silly and they have some fun and stuff. But I mean, for the most part, you should be the same on all accords. Like, it shouldn't be you're here on social media and then in real life people see you doing completely out of your norm. Because actually, let's just say it, some people here on social media are a character. It's not real. It's not real. They've made up this whole whatever just to get clicks and views.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mhm.
But once that character disappears or it gets, discovered that it's just that, then, it doesn't work for them. Which is why you have to stay true to yourself on what you like to do. I'm not a content creator. I've said this to you before, but I do like to go out and see different good content creators. I like to associate with people that are, that like the same things that I do so that I can enjoy the content. But I will not be able to be who I am and follow beefing channels. That's not me. It's not something I believe in. So that's out of character for me. And I'm the same way in real life. I don't like drama and I don't like fights. I don't like any of that. It's a waste of time for me.
Yeah, thank you so much for that comment, Nexie. You know, I'm not here to tell anybody what to do on their channel and what to like. All I'm doing is giving you some encouragement to know yourself, know what you want, and actually know what you deserve. Because I think that that comes with a lot of responsibilities. When you know who you are, when you know what you deserve, you know what you can do, you know what you're talented at, don't settle for less than that. um, and don't think that it's too much by asking people to treat you with respect, to be kind to you, all of those things. But don't let people just, the only reason people will want to spend time with you is if you can do something or you can spend money on them, or let's be honest, they can use your body. If it's not one of those things, they don't want to be involved with you because they really don't care about you. So we have to respect our own self.
Have that control that you say. If you control all of that yourself, then you're at less risk of people trying to control you because it's in your hands. It has nothing, you know what I mean? Like the your likes and dislikes, they're yours. Nobody else knows them but you. So the only one that can have put those limits or set those boundaries on people that want to take advantage of your kindness. And a lot of times they confuse what they say, meekness with weakness. A lot
Mhm.
of times because of the way you speak or the way that you look, they think that they can step all over you. So the only one that can put those boundaries and stop nonsense right away is you. Nobody else can do it for you. I don't have people fight my battles. I do them myself,
Right.
respectfully.
Yes, exactly, Nexie. And what I will say too is, being I'm a pretty soft-spoken person. I'm not a person who's loud and belligerent. That's just not who Marlene is. I'm
Hmm.
just being real, 100%. I'm pretty chill and calm person, but but if somebody takes me, if I have to do that to do what I need to do to take care of my family, I will do that. But I try my best to stay the same all the time. And don't let other people take you down, drag you down, make you compromise your own integrity, your own
Hmm.
values. And there are certain people that being around them is not good for your health. It's not good
Hmm.
for your strength, your mindset. They make you crazy, actually. So it's all those things why I wanted to actually do this topic and talk about the ones that want to control everything about us and what we do and what we say and how we look and our financial situation. But we have to be in control of ourselves, know ourselves, and don't let people take advantage of us.
Exactly. And only we can do it. Only us, like the person, myself. No, you cannot fight my battles. You cannot, put restrictions on anybody else. For me, it has to be done by me. And the thing is that when you have, when you behave properly from the beginning, people tend to know, to see that you're not someone that they can cross that boundary with, that line with. That you're respectful towards them, so they respect you back. And that's the whole thing. Is like I like to give respect because I know it's earned. So I'm trying to respect you. I'm trying to earn that so that I can be respected back. I feel
Exactly.
that if you put those that first step forward when you start a friendship or a relationship, that should be your, the most important thing you talk about with that person. Now, if that person tries to be smart or whatever, then drop them,
Yeah.
block them.
Yeah. I'm so glad that you said that, Nexie, because I used to feel so guilty for a really long time. I would feel so guilty if I didn't answer the phone calls of toxic relatives, or sign up to do something that I really didn't want to do, or I didn't like, or I couldn't afford. I had to learn to start valuing my own opinion, knowing what I liked, what I didn't like, and it didn't make me less than a person. It didn't make me a bad person, a bad relative, a bad person in a relationship. No, it just meant that I was a person that knew my value, and I knew what I wanted to do and what I didn't want to do. And it didn't mean I didn't like people or whatever. It means that I was true to myself. And I felt so much better about myself, now that I've not allowed other people to control me and what I do. But I took my power back and said, I'm not going to do anything anymore that makes me feel uncomfortable, or sad, or that I can't afford, just trying to keep up with everybody else. I no longer do those things.
Exactly. But the thing is that once you start that process, Marlene, oh, it's so much better. It's so rewarding. It's so empowering. And you start seeing that there was so much more that you didn't like, but you didn't really know who you were, right?
Yeah.
And I did that too. Like I started, like I said before, I started putting a lot of restrictions in place, and I lost a lot of people, but that's okay. I
Yeah.
needed to do that for me, not for them.
Mhm. And I'm glad you also added that too, Nexie, because a lot of times we feel that we need people. I went through that for a really long time, feeling like I needed this person in a romantic relationship. I needed to have certain relatives. I needed certain friends. I needed this job, when you actually don't. You don't need certain people. Actually, it's the opposite. They need you.
There you go. There
Yeah.
you go. Until
Uh-oh. What happened? Oh, it looked like Nexie dropped off. I hope she comes back. Hey, Nate, how are you doing? Welcome. Appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. And everybody who is in the chat, we're really talking about how important it is to respect yourself. Self respect is important. Um, Self control, knowing your own boundaries, and staying within them. So all of those things are important. And I was trying to wait for Puzzle Pieces to come back. So I don't know if her phone went dead, or what it was, but I will see you over at the members only Puzzle Pieces. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. And don't let other people control you. They want to control everything about you, your mindset, your focus, uh, all of everything. Don't let other people control you. Know your personal worth. Know what you deserve. Know what you can do, and then do it. I thank you so much for joining me today. And I am Marlene of Marlene Motivates. And on this channel, I talk about inspiration, positivity. Oh, I've got my co host back.
I don't know what's going on with StreamYard, Marlene.
I know.
It keeps on kicking me out.
Yeah.
I don't even know where I left off.
I don't know where you left off, but I was just telling everybody that I was going to see you over at members only.
Yes.
If you have anything to wrap up to say for the ending.
Um, it's, just trying to define and redefine who you are, what you like and you don't like, because only then you're going to be able to know who you are not and what you really don't like. That's it.
Good.
And members only. Woo, woo.
Good, good wrap up, Nexie. So thank you guys so much. And I have to say this to everybody who needs to hear. Know your worth, everybody. Know what you deserve, and don't let anybody control you, whether it be a sibling, your parents in a romantic relationship, friends on the job. Know your worth and know what you deserve, and don't let anybody control you. Thank you so much, Nexie, for joining me. I'll see you guys at the members only.
Thank you for having Marlene. See you at members only. Bye, everybody. Thank you for
Bye.
coming.
See you guys tomorrow. And members, see you at the members only.
Be encouraged, be inspired, be yourself, you will survive. Just know it, just breathe it, and be it, and live your best life.
Forgive me, I love me. I've been blessed that I have made it through. I'm stronger and worthy. I am enough now. What about you? I forgive me, I love me. I've been blessed that I have made it through. I'm stronger and worthy. I am enough now. What about you? Ooh, Whoa.